Sachi from the Sandy and the Salty, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips for sanding. First, I want to talk to you about the difference between an orbital sander and a belt sander. A belt sander is going to be used for heavy-duty jobs to take a lot of paint, a lot of wood off of your surface. An orbital sander is good for more fine work, for finesse work, for sanding the edges on furniture, or for a smaller project. Today, I'm going to be sanding down a door that I'm going to be hanging in my bathroom. It's already pretty flat and smooth, so I'm going to be using an orbital sander. I find the orbital sander to be really good for DIY home projects. The orbital sander has a circular sanding pad. It vibrates back and forth as well as spins in a circular motion. So the first tip is choose the right grit. So I have a couple different grits here. When you first start off sanding, you're going to want to start at a lower grit number, which is very coarse. So you want to start off something around 60 or 80, very coarse grit to kind of get all the big imperfections and a lot of paint off of your surface. Then you're going to want to transition up to a finer grit, something like 220 or 320 is a very fine grit that'll give you a really smooth surface. So you don't need to buy all the different numbers of sandpaper. You can maybe get 80, 150, and 220 to start and go in that order. So you're going to work from a coarse sandpaper to a finer grit, finer sandpaper. These sanding pads that come on your orbital sander can also be replaced if you get any big divots or they get damaged. You don't need to buy a whole new sander. Okay, tip number 2, go slow. When you're using your orbital sander, you want to move about 1 inch per second. The orbital sander goes in a circular motion, hence the name orbital, as well as it vibrates back and forth. If you move too fast, those fine abrasions are not going to disappear. So you definitely want to go slow. Tip number 3, you want to set your sander down on your surface and then turn it on. If you turn on the sander and then start sanding, you could create a divot in your surface. Tip number 4, do circular motions. Also, you want to kind of overlap the area that you just sanded. Just like when you're vacuuming and you go over half of the same line you just did, that's the same thing you're going to want to do with your orbital sander. Tip number 5, you want to use light pressure. You don't want to create divots or dents in your wood. The weight of the sander itself is going to be enough to get the friction that you need to smooth out your surface. Alright, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and remember the 5 tips. Number 1, choose the right grit. Number 2, go slow. Number 3, set your sander down before you turn it on. Number 4, sand in a circular motion. Number 5, use light pressure. If you want to see more DIY and design videos, click below to subscribe.